it depends. Are you mentally unstable? If you're mentally unstable, I guess you're never really too old, but when you're mentally unstable, your imaginary friends tell you to do bad things.
Not always. Sometimes your imaginary friends are just there.
Floating, staring, judging.
Is that ghosts?
And maybe it is.
It could be.
Maybe mentally unstable people are the only ones that are actually seeing ghosts. That's why they enjoy things like ghost hunters on the television.
I like ghost hunters.
I think we have figured out your problem.
Ha ha ha. I watched a show last night called When Ghosts Attack, though. It was bananas.
So, all right. So when you're younger, you have the idea of imaginary friends, or maybe you don't. Maybe you're surrounded by so many real friends, you just don't have time to eke one out of your own imagination. But I had a lot of friends, and I still had an imaginary friend.
I had one.
I had one, but mine had a backstory. It was a French revolutionary person who died being thrown off a bridge after being shot, and then after he slowly drowned and bled to death in the water, he came back as a ghost and reincarnated himself inside my hand, and then we would have conversations.
So you were mentally unstable. It makes so much sense.
I mean, obviously, my hand is not, stop it. It is not inhabited by anything. But we do that as kids. I don't know why. It's something silly. It's
every time my mom would mop, which was at least once a week.
Once a year, but whatever. Who's counting? Go ahead.
Talking about when I was little.
Yeah, sure.
And she would put the mop out there to dry. I would always pretend like the mop had hair, and I named it Sarah, and I would fix her hair. But I was like 8.
You were 8. Okay, so
yeah.
At what point do you think you should watch out for a kid having an imaginary friend? Like 8 to me, that seems a little older. I think I was like 6 or 7 when this guy finally went away.
Are you calling me mentally unstable?
I think we're both mentally unstable.
Oh Lord, I'd have to be. I don't know, like, being that I was born early, I was a little bit behind. So I was a little bit, not really slower, because my grades were good, but as far as developmentally, as far as a kid goes,
yeah.
I was behind. And, like, I liked baby dolls until I was, like, 12 years old, 12 or 13.
Right.
But, I mean, as where I was made fun of from that, and I'm not talking about from kids at school, I'm talking about at home. At least I wasn't 11 years old and out having sex, getting pregnant, stuff like that.
That is true.
I had a Cabbage Patch Kid.
So,
that was my thing.
But still, what age should you start worrying that this kid still has an imaginary friend?
It depends. It depends on how they are developmentally.
Okay.
Like with me, I was a little bit slower, so maybe a little bit longer.
I say,
but for a normal everyday run-of-the-mill kid, maybe about 6 or 7.
I say pull the plug at least 11, because at that point you really you have a strong evidence on whether or not this person
is going to be mentally unstable.
Yeah, or maybe just needs to be talked to. Maybe they need a little like one-on-one attention. Maybe that's all it needs. All right, so I'm Michael,
and I'm Amanda,
and this right here is Harvey. And we are on the fence.